When your story feels unseen, when your pain is too deep for words, God knows every detail of your heart. He understands the wounds no one else can touch. He carries the weight you cannot. Even if no human listens, he listens to every whisper of your soul. There are moments in life when silence becomes louder than words, when you speak and no one truly hears, when you cry and no one truly sees, when the weight of your pain becomes invisible to the world, but unbearable to you. In those moments, loneliness wraps around you like a cold fog, convincing you that you are forgotten. But here is the truth. You are not forgotten. You are not unseen. You are not unheard. God does not overlook you. He does not dismiss your cries. The very ache you hide from others, he already knows. The sigh that leaves your lips in the middle of the night is a prayer he has already caught. The tears that stain your pillow are drops he has already counted. The battles you cannot explain to anyone, he has already walked beside you in them. Sometimes the greatest pain is not the storm itself, but the silence that follows when no one notices how hard the storm was for you. You survive, but no one asks how. You endure, but no one sees the cost. You smile, but inside you bleed. And in that dissonance between your outer mask and your inner wounds, your heart whispers, "Does anyone really know me? Does anyone really care?" And God answers softly, "I do." He knows your name when the world forgets. He knows your story when others only see fragments. He knows your fears when others only see your strength. He knows your weakness and does not shame you. He knows your tears and does not dismiss you. God has always been the one who sees the unseen. When Hagar fled into the wilderness, abandoned and desperate, she thought she was utterly alone. But God met her there, and she called him El Roy, the God who sees me. He is still that God today. He sees the hidden battles in your mind. He sees the quiet exhaustion of your soul. He sees the weight you carry silently because you do not want to burden others. And he does not just see, he understands. Because Jesus himself walked through rejection, betrayal, loneliness, and pain deeper than words. He wept. He sweat blood in the garden, feeling the crushing weight of sorrow. He hung on the cross, abandoned by friends, mocked by enemies, and even cried out, "My God, why have you forsaken me?" He knows the sound of an unheard cry. He knows the ache of an unanswered heart. That means when you pour out your soul, he does not listen as a distant observer. He listens as someone who has walked through the fire himself. Maybe right now you feel invisible. Maybe your prayers feel like they disappear into the ceiling. Maybe you wonder if God is tired of your repeated cries. But the truth is, he leans in closer each time you whisper his name. He bends his ear to hear every breath of your soul. Your silence is not empty to him. It is filled with meaning. Your tears are not wasted. They are stored in his hands. Your prayers are not forgotten. They are written in his heart. When no one else understands the language of your pain, God does. Because pain has its own language, a language of sighs, of silence, of breaking hearts. And the Spirit himself, the Bible says, intercedes for us with groans too deep for words. That means your pain is never lost in translation. Heaven speaks the language of tears fluently. So, when your voice feels unheard, God hears. When your story feels unseen, God knows. When your pain is too deep for words, God holds it all. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. There is a sacred power in being known by God. When the world misunderstands you, he understands fully. When others misjudge you, he sees with perfect clarity. When you feel like no one cares, he cares with an everlasting love. And in his presence, you do not have to pretend. You do not have to wear the mask. You do not have to hide your weakness. Before him, you can be fully raw, fully broken, fully honest, and he will not turn away. Instead, he will draw nearer. Because he is the shepherd who leaves the 99 to find the one. He is the father who runs to embrace the prodigal child. He is the friend who sticks closer than a brother. He is the healer who binds up the wounds of the brokenhearted. You may not see answers yet. You may not feel relief yet, but do not mistake his silence for absence. Sometimes his greatest work is done in the quiet. Sometimes his deepest love is revealed not in the noise of miracles, but in the stillness of his presence. The whisper in your soul that tells you you are not alone, that is him. The strength that carries you one more day when you thought you had none left, that is him. The peace that comes for just a moment in the middle of chaos, that is him. And one day you will see that none of your cries were wasted. None of your tears were ignored. None of your pain was meaningless. God has been weaving it all into a story greater than you can see right now. But until that day, hold on to this truth. Even if no one else listens, God listens. Even if no one else understands, God understands. Even if no one else stays, God stays. Your soul has never been unheard in heaven. So lift your eyes. Breathe again. Rest in his presence. You are fully known, fully loved, fully heard. The God who spoke the stars into existence bends low to hear your whisper. And in his embrace, you are never invisible, never forgotten, never alone. When your voice feels unheard, he hears. When your story feels unseen, he sees. When your pain feels unbearable, he carries it with you. And that truth can hold you, even in the silence.